Yes. You're what?
Yes, you're unmuted now. It's
You're
live.
kind of grainy, J-Mac.
Well, it's just part of my charm. We're live now. And you're on,
So you're
Zach.
saying we're live. So you're saying we're out on the webiverse right
Mm-hmm.
now. People are listening to us right now.
Yep.
Cool. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Town Hall number 2 of the series Town Hall 2019 Death of a Player. I don't know what it would be called. It would be called something cool. I've got J-Mac behind the scenes. He said he's never going to show his face, according to his awesome producing skills. And I've got the world famous Georgina. Georgina, how do you say your last name again exactly?
Petri,
Petri,
but we're
like
not telling
Petri,
anybody that.
Petri dish. So it's like Petri dish. It's not
No,
Petri.
that's
It's
without
not
the
Petri.
E.
Wait, you want it
Yeah, no.
Petri? You want it
No.
Petri without the E.
Shush.
Oh,
Zach.
Georgina is our director of marketing and events, and we have thrown her to into the lion's den with a bunch of tasks that we're going to talk about today. And just like last format that we did with Ross, who'll be back on our next one to get pummeled by all of you asking for feature requests with ggLeap. This is all about player and events. So feel free, jump in the chat and throw some questions in there about ideas you've got, things that we've done in the past, suggestions. We'll address those at the end of the show. What we've got is a little outline that we'll go through, Georgina and I. We'll take turns spending about 5 or 10 minutes talking about each of the things that are coming up for players and events, and some branding and some fun stuff. And this is Georgina. I'm so excited about it because J Mac and I have been doing this, building player activities, and then we had to take a break for a while and build our management platform, and now we're back to doing player activities again. It's so much fun. Why don't you tell us a little bit, introduce yourself, and tell us what your background is, where you came from, how did you even land on this crazy ship?
So I come from the UK, obviously.
No,
This
no.
is my this isn't real anymore because I just became a citizen a couple of weeks ago. So I have my little citizen flag. So yay, America. Um,
Proportions. It's not right proportions.
but I know. But I've been in the video game industry for over 20 years, so that's dating myself, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. But I started out in London working for Sega Europe way back in the day when they actually had a system, hardware as well as software, and Sony hadn't even really come out into the market yet with their PlayStation. So that's how freaking old I am.
Wow.
Um,
Wow. Let's see. So that was when you were 11. So you're 31 now. Okay. We know how old
yes,
you are. Okay.
Yes, so I'm 31. And so I came over to the States in 2001. I was working for a company called Nova Logic, who were kind of pioneers in their day with pixel technology. And they did the Delta Force series of games and Armored Fist and all the flight sims and stuff like that. So I came over to the States to head up marketing for them. And I was going to stay for maybe 2 years, 3 years, because I was such a home girl, very traditional. And I ended up staying. So I've been in the industry for a long time. I've worked in development studios and also for smaller and larger publishers. So I've worked with land centers for about 15 years as a brand director on some of the games. So kind of familiar with what you guys do, and really happy to be joining the team, particularly at this stage when the company seems to be going from strength to strength. So
Yeah. It's exciting time. So,
yeah.
we threw you into the under the bus a little bit with, the activities that we've got, for you to take care of. I was on a call today. Who was it this morning with GameStop, and then a couple other calls after that. One of them was with Caesars, and like people on the call will go to ggCircuit.com. Like if they in the first call, and they'll be like, "What is it that you guys do?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, that website's about 3 years old. It's
Yeah.
getting redone, and we'll talk about some of that stuff today." So I don't want to steal a lot of thunder or anything. So let's get into the outline and kind of cover a few things here. And I'm just going to set the tone with some of what we've done in the past for players. And once I review what we've done in the past for players and some of the activities we've done, Then I'm going to turn it over to you, Georgina. You'll cover some of the upcoming stuff and things you've been working on. And hopefully we'll give some juicy information out today that we can finally talk about. We got the official stamp from Ross like 3 minutes ago to say, yes, sure, fine, go ahead and share those dates. So just
Did
like
we really?
oh yeah, that's what we're saying, because now it's recorded and now it's official and now they have to do it. That's the way we do things.
Perfect.
So, all right. So for those of you that have been around a while, ggCircuit started as a project for eBash year. We had 2 stores at the time, and we wanted to figure out how to connect these stores together and play some events and utilize the fact that on a Tuesday night there might be 5 players of League in one store and 5 in another. So we would invite other centers to participate in tournaments with us, and we would have these WAN events on the weekends where on Saturday you'd play through brackets at your local center, and then the top team comes back on Sunday at the center and plays online against the best team from others. We then turn that into a coin and value prize system in about 2013 or 2014, because I wanted something to do for the players all the time. So we wanted some sort of activity to engage the players 7 days a week, anytime the store's open. And that's where we created the little stats formula and the coin system. And we put that on top of other software. We then had to take a break for a while we built ggLeap and built a cloud-based management platform from the ground up. And once that's done, now we're back to talking about some events and things again. We've done things like Zen Masters, which is kind of that concept of play a bunch of games and then bring your best team or player to an online tournament against other best teams and players from other centers. We've done seasons before. Those of you that have been through those with us, those were fun in the past. They range from challenges every week to do fun things in a certain game versus really competitive seasons where every week we gave away prizes from cool sponsors in the past like eBlue and Game Dios and others, medals and trophies and things we've given out. So we love all of those kind of concepts as well. And then, of course, most of you that have been around with us in the recent 6 months know that we've really tried to turn our attention to some opportunities we've had with Epic and Fortnite. So we have our big WAN events where it's not where you play at your local center to figure out who's the best and then come online. It's like everybody online at one time. So grouping everybody into Fortnite servers all around the world in different time zones and giving out prizes in each of those time zones. So that's a little bit of a history of our events and our player activities in the past. And what Georgina and her team's been working on is kind of building on some of those things and then some brand new things that we're going to talk about here coming up too. So Georgina, why don't you take it away and start rattling off all the cool stuff that you've been working on.
Okay, so one of the biggest things we've been working on over the last couple of months actually is to conceptualize and come up with an official ggCircuit events and tournaments program. And so we will be soft launching that at the end of May, and it's going to be called ggChampions. So ggChampions is basically ggCircuit's official events and tournaments program. And the idea is that we'll have year-long stuff happening at the center level. We'll have stuff happening for people that love playing League, people that love playing Fortnite, any of those, those really, really popular esports type centers. But we're also weaving in events that an amateur player might play in, or someone that maybe doesn't like playing MOBA games can play in and take part in. So we're trying to do a little bit of something for everybody. And in addition to the big tournaments that we'll keep on doing with our friends at Epic, we're going to be rolling out a couple of different things under the ggChampions umbrella. So as I mentioned, ggChampions is going to soft launch at the end of May. And then the idea is that the first week of June, we'll be kickstarting a couple of basic weekly initiatives called weeknight events. And what that will be is incentives for you, the player, to come into the LAN centers and play your favorite games and actually get extra bonus coins, for example. And the whole point with the weeknight events is to encourage you to come in. You get rewarded just for supporting your local LAN center. So we're kickstarting with just 2 events. That's Monday night League of Legends, and then Tuesday night will be Fortnite. And we're going to see how it goes for a couple of months. and then we're going to iterate on that and improve on that and see what else we can do. Some of these weeknight events might also be sponsored as well. So, you know, we are talking to a lot of partners, not just for weeknight events, but also for other things that we have planned, like the new ggChampions seasons. But we'll let you know about who those partners are, you know, closer to when we launch. So that brings me on to the next thing, which is ggChampions seasons. So we will be starting from scratch, clearing the slate, and we'll be starting seasons. The first week of seasons will be 17th of June. So we're looking to do a shorter season for the initial season one. And that's purely because we want to get that sweet spot for when people are out of school. So, you know, people are going to be breaking up for school holidays and stopping college and everything for the long summer vacation. So we want to make sure that a player that starts in the first week of seasons will be able to play all the way through to the finals if they make it to the finals. So we're looking right now that the first season will be a little shy of 9 weeks. So we'll have an 8-week season, and then the finals will be in the 9th week. So that will take us through to the middle of August.
Can we talk about prizing for that?
Yeah, so seasons will have weekly winner medals for everyone that takes part. So the top players will be awarded with the brand new ggChampions medals that we're getting created. And then also as part of that, if you do come in on a Monday or Tuesday night during seasons, the additional points that you earn playing League of Legends and Fortnite also goes towards your score for your season's leaderboards. So leaderboard winner weekly prizes, and then we will have, you know, obviously the grand finale, the championship prizes as well. And the prize pool is going to be pretty substantial, with things like laptops and monitors and complete peripheral packages and stuff like that. So all of those details will be announced, you know, closer to the time. But we're really excited about it, and we're talking to some really cool partners too. And the idea is that we will jump into seasons 2, which will finish just before Thanksgiving holiday. So we'll get 2 seasons in this year. Now, concurrently with ggChampions seasons, regular seasons, we're also launching a high school initiative. So ggChampions high school seasons will run concurrently with the regular season, but there'll be a different prize pool. And, you know, details of that will also be announced soon, but it includes things like scholarships, a wider laptop prize pool, and so on and so forth. And actually, I wanted to hand it back to you, Zach, to talk about kind of high schools, because obviously it's a big focus for us to engage those gamers as well. So.
Yeah, and we've watched some of these centers in our network start to embrace high school teams and players and invite them to their centers and use their center as kind of the place where that head-to-head matchmaking takes place. You know, Not Your Parents' Basement Lounge up in Wisconsin, I know, is a part of the Wisconsin one. Helix out in New Jersey is getting some teams started. I just talked to Dan from Pure Esports. He had his high school day today. They invited in all the high schools into play at his center. And so we see that as an opportunity for all of us, as another reason why you get out of the house and go to a esports arena like what we own. And so we want to focus on that group also being, you know, match made pretty fairly. You know, like high school sports, not esports, but sports works because geographically you're on a team with folks that live nearby you. So the percentages and the statistics of having 5 like stellar League of Legends players all go to the same high school, sure, it happens sometimes, but it's very rare. So it balances those teams out really well. What this will do for centers is that in our network right now, about 25,000 unique high school players in a season time period show up and play at your stores already. You just don't have them marked such in our software. So we will have a button you can check and mark them high school and verify if they're a high school player in your stores. And then they'll automatically be a part then of the high school seasons when they're playing their matches. And as you said, Georgina, all of this stuff needs to tie together. So if you're in the high school League of Legends running, you want to make sure and come on the weeknight where you can get some extra points on the weeknight that's for League of Legends. And you'll also be a part of the open division for League of Legends as well while you're playing at the store. So everything kind of ties together in the end, giving all these players multiple activities they can be involved with. So the best person to be in our network is going to be like a high school player in the open events on a weeknight. All those things kind of stack up for benefits.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really cool initiative. So so that'll be rolling out as I mentioned at the beginning of in middle of June. It'll be running from the 17th of June as well. So in addition to weeknight events and in addition to seasons and high school seasons, we're also going to be throwing a quarterly global LAN party. So it's going to be basically a WAN weekend party. And the idea with this is that we are going to be creating a party at the LAN center level, esports center level. And the idea is it'll be sponsored and it'll just be a culmination of everything to do with gaming. We are looking at potentially doing that the weekend of the finals. So it's kind of like a celebration for that. And the first one is currently planned for the weekend of the 9th of August, but dates are to be confirmed. So it'll be kind of like early, middle of August, and more details will be announced as soon as we start looking down the finer details of that. Now, one thing that we should point out is that some of these initiatives are going to be rolled out in North America first, North America and Canada, and Europe. And then once we know everything's up and running and it's running really well, and once we get a better cadence of digital pricing and stuff like that under our belt, we'll be rolling out to other territories.
Yeah, it's really going to be a fun summer. And I think the way that I've described it to a couple folks that I'm working with is, we're going to get these jump started and launched this summer, and then we're going to build into the fall programs then. And one of the things I point out a lot of times is that we are working on new game integration. So while this season we're launching with just League of Legends and just Fortnite and only in North America, we're looking at adding other regions and other games as these seasons progress. So, it's no pressure. Like a lot of centers are like, why can't I do it? I'm in Europe, Well, the pressure's on North America to deliver in this first season so that we can build on that momentum and then branch it out to these other locations. But as I look at my store here and my manager, Cody, as I go through some of these programs with him, it's going to help tremendously all of us that own these stores fill up our seats. We're focusing on a lot of Monday through Thursday activities if we can. And, we're constantly working with other partners. We're working with Riot, Super League Gaming, Nerd Street Gamers, and their new program for the National Championship Series. We've talked to them. There's a lot of folks that would like to engage our players at our centers, and we're pushing them to do stuff on weeknights. I personally don't need help on a Friday night getting people in my store. Everybody's looking to do stuff, and it's pretty full on a Friday night. But
yeah,
I could use some help Monday through Thursday for sure.
Yeah, and partners, in addition to everything I've just talked about, we are working with some fantastic partners that I'm sure everybody has heard of, like Super League Gaming, to bring like an SLG night as well into the calendar, as well as other stuff that we're kind of discussing right now, but nothing's really confirmed. So I don't want to leak any spoilers and get held accountable for that.
As long as you say dates, just say dates, and then the developers have to stick to dates because we've said them live on the air.
This is for Ross.
Yep.
You heard it here, Ross. And so the other thing that I just wanted to talk about real quick, Zach, is that, with all of these initiatives, obviously there's a lot of moving parts. We're trying to make all of these initiatives as automated as possible so that the centers have a full-time job managing the centers. And looking after their gamers and all that kind of stuff. So everything we're trying to automate as much as possible. The same thing with pricing. We are obviously a team of two right now. So physical pricing is a bit of a bitch to work with, trying to send it out. But as I mentioned, we're working on digital pricing. But our intention with all of this is that we give the LAN centers basically, or the esports centers, a good 6 weeks notice that these events are coming up. So for example, the global WAN party weekend, Confirmation will be going out 6 weeks in advance so they can prepare their store. We will be sending, assets. In some cases, we'll be able to send physical posters and promotional branded assets. In other cases, like we've done and like JMac's been doing for a while now, digital kits, the whole 9 yards with that. So we're trying to be really cognizant and really plan ahead just to help the centers out, because I know a lot of the times these opportunities arise and it's like, okay, let's go, let's do this event. The centers are desperate for something, and it's a great idea, but sometimes it's it's a pain in the ass basically if you don't have enough time to plan ahead. And I think the events that we've done so far have been successful, but there's definitely room for improvement as far as that planning is concerned. So
Yeah,
that's one of our major goals.
right. And I think you guys do a good job too of providing those materials. I don't want to skip over that too lightly. Most of us that own a store, like Cody, my manager here, and in the staff that work here, they're so busy just maintaining the store, keeping everything running, greeting the customers, running birthday parties, whatever it is their task that they're trying to tackle every day. They don't have the creative time to sit down and create a graphic to put onto social media to promote something upcoming. So one of the big things that I think our group, ggCircuit and your team can do, which you guys are great at, is providing all of those marketing assets. Like some of us just want 5 or 6 or 7 weeks in advance planned out. And if you guys have all that planned out and all these dates planned out, that makes it so much easier for the guys that are running the stores on a regular basis. So I think that's going to be great. All right, you ready to go on to the next big one?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a little bit nervous about this one. I mean,
Me too.
so
We'll see.
like backstory for this next thing. This is our last item, and then we'll get into some questions and some feedback items. So our next thing that it's something that we did years ago. We had a program called Gold Membership. Okay. And those of you that have been around forever know Gold Membership and the concept behind it. And I'll tell you the story of how it did not work. So everybody knows our coin system is built on coins that you earn being logged in and playing certain games. Well, there's a prize vault, and the centers can put prizes in, or ggCircuit could put prizes in the global vault. Our idea was we would create a gold membership, and it was $5 a month. You could put your credit card in as a player and pay $5 a month, and we would put prizes into this prize vault for you to redeem your coins, but only if you were a gold member. Well, we launched this, and this is where it went terribly wrong, is that we launched this and we had a budget of a few $1,000s we put into prizes, and we put all these prizes in and released it to the gold members. And I think we had 50, okay, gold members that paid $5 to be a member. And in 3 days, all of the prizes were gone. And we're like, how's that pot? Like we had things for like 20,000 coins that were gone. And we went back and we looked at our what we had done, and basically all these players had saved all of these coins and then just been sitting on all these coins, and they paid $5 one time to be a member, and then they redeemed it for like a $200 keyboard. And so we're like, wait a minute, like, we can't do that. Like we can't collect $5 and give away a $200 keyboard. That doesn't work. So the purpose of it was to really activate the players and give them something else to do with their coins and reward them for playing all of the time. And the way to fund it was going to be through that monthly membership. The concept's kind of the same with what our new program for ggChampions Prime is. And everybody knows the word Prime. CSGO has a Prime account. Twitch and Amazon have their Prime. Like, it is a paid membership that gets you extra benefits. And the key, if you do research on programs like that, is what kind of benefits can we put out there where the player doesn't even think twice about receiving those benefits. So the concept of this is going to be $7.99 a month for a Prime membership. Okay, player's going to be able to click on an icon inside of ggChampions new skin, which is coming out later this month, and they'll be able to join ggChampions Prime for $7.99 a month. It'll be free for a month. You put your credit card in, first month's free. We don't charge you. You can cancel at any time, and then it'll charge you if you're still on after 30 days, $7.99 a month after that. We're going to launch that with a program we call Gold Rush. And we came up with this after seeing how the other program didn't work. The concept of Gold Rush is that every Monday a minimum of $1,000 worth of prizes will be put into this Gold Rush interface inside of ggChampions that the players will be able to see what they're racing for. And they're racing to gather gold. That's what they're racing
So
for.
that's $1,000 worth of prizing every week.
Every single week, $1,000 worth of prizes minimum in that prize vault. And as the program builds, we'll build more prizes into this and other programs we'll talk about. So the concept is there's 3 levels of prizes. Okay, so there's, let's just say for this example, there's a $20 set of prizes, a $100 set of prizes, and a couple $500 prizes. I know that doesn't add up to 1,000, but bear with me. You will then start playing on Monday. Again, we're driving people to the centers on Monday as a Prime member and gathering gold, which is just our point system from that Monday, not anything before that Monday, but that Monday moving forward. You're racing to try to get enough gold to buy those prizes. You get to, let's say, 1,000 gold is the first tier. As soon as you get there, you'll know you're one of the first ones. Do you redeem it for that prize and go back and reset and not have a chance at the other one? Or do you keep pushing forward to try to get to the $2,500 gold prize that you might take you another day or two to get? Or do you hold out and try to get to the new monitor, new keyboard, new laptop? Who knows what the grand prizes are each week, but you're going to really be racing to try to get to that on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday that weekend. And if the chances are you don't get there, you may have passed over these other prizes on the way that are now gone. That program will launch with it from day one. The other thing that will launch with it from day one is we'll guarantee one event a month for Prime members only that we'll prize ourselves directly out of the same budget. So another event on a weekend with a minimum $1,000 prize pool paid out. And the first one's going to be in June. I think we can say the dates, right? June 14th to 16th is when we're going to do it. That'll be a Fortnite event, and it'll be a fun stats race Fortnite event that weekend. So Prime members that weekend will be playing for points in Fortnite, just like they would play in the arena and the gauntlet scoring that we see inside the game. And then there'll be another set of prizes for those players. Those 2 things are available to players as soon as this program launches by just clicking the button and joining the Prime program. If you're a savvy center, and what I will do and what I will advise a lot of the centers that we consult and service to do is that we will also sell those licenses wholesale to centers to resell in your store. And you can price them however you want. Keep in mind, a player could always click the button and pay $7.99. So you probably don't want to buy these things and try to sell them to your players for $100 when they can just buy it for $7.99. But for us, we're going to bundle it with a membership package in our store, and we will set them up for auto debit inside of our Square point of sale system. And then we will use that as incentive and discounts for other membership programs inside of our store. So we will include ggChampions Prime, and as a wholesale price, you'll be able to buy those a lot cheaper. The one thing I forgot to mention is the $7.99 that they click on and buy from the center. $1 of that immediately goes back on credit on your ggLeap license agreement. So if you had 100 players join this program and click on it in your store, you'll have $100 credit towards your ggLeap license inside of your license settings on ggLeap. So our intention, again, is to gather these players together and create all these activities from a large group of players so that every week there's all kinds of things. None of us could afford to do that. I don't know a store in America or anywhere in the world that could give away $1,000 worth of prizes every week or another $1,000 event one weekend a month to launch a program like this. And the program will only grow as we commit a minimum of 20% of that back to this prize pool. And then we're going to have the money to be able to have events folks to have all of these events running on behalf of the center. It's all about automation.
I've got a couple questions real quick.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
They just ask, so are these prizes for any Prime member who has the coins, or are they awarded randomly somehow?
Yeah, so first of all, let's take that one step backwards. We're trying to keep the coins separate from the Prime program. So the coins are still there doing what they do as a loyalty program for centers. These folks on Monday will start earning gold. It's not gold coins, but just gold. That's why it's called Gold Rush. And it's the first player to race there and redeem the prize. It's not random. It is a race to redeem those prizes. There will probably be random prizes given away as part of this program as well. There's other things that we're working on, like Georgina's worked on getting us some Steam game codes. So we're hoping that every Prime member every month will be able to get one free Steam game code sent to them from us as another benefit of being a Prime member. And again, that's not random. That's every one of those members. We want to be able to provide them a code for a free game. They redeem the code on their Steam account. They own that game then moving forward.
And
Yeah, go ahead,
Zach, we to do that coin bonus as well.
Right. And then as part of another benefit of being a Prime member, you'll get a coin bonus for your loyalty program in the store while you're earning coins. So again, as eBash, as I look at these folks coming in and out of the fish tank that are here, the players will come in and buy the membership from us, and we'll include ggPrime, and they'll earn more coins in our system as another bonus, which I let them redeem for Mountain Dews and Cokes and free game time and T-shirts and things in the store in our prize vault. Yeah, go ahead, J-Mac. You had another one, I know.
Yeah, so you already really covered this, but they said, do we need to subscribe as a center, as a Prime member, or do we subscribe our customers? And it's really both, right? The center can buy in bulk Prime memberships that they then apply to their customers. They receive benefit from that, and then each time a customer purchases a Prime membership, $1 goes as credit to their ggLeap subscription.
Yeah, anybody that did the Fortnite events with us, that menu system, you'll have a Prime token menu system where you can buy tokens from us and apply those as a sale item to your players in your store at the front counter. So somebody then could buy a membership token. It'll pull one token out of your pool, just like it pulled a ticket out of your pool that you bought for Fortnite and applied it to that player. That's the same way the token system will work. But again, if you don't want to mess with any of that, you can just let them put their own credit or debit card in by clicking the icon in ggChampions interface and joining the Prime program for $7.99 a month. And again, all of this is free. If you buy a token from us, the player still gets a free month before it will deduct one token out of your pool for their first paid month if you're buying wholesale from us. So keep that in mind. It's not something that we're trying to generate money right away. Like, we want these players to see the benefit, try the system out. That there'll be benefits down the road for maintaining your Prime membership. Like, if you've kept it active for 3 or 6 months, we'll do some special events for those customers. We'll probably come up with some founders programs. If you join in the first 6 months, you'll be able to invite it to a special event. We'll do things like the $50,000 Fortnite event that we just did. We'll maybe give Prime members free entry, so you don't have to buy a $5 ticket for that from us. Your Prime subscribers will get in free. You still charge them for your game time in your store, but you don't have to buy a $5 ticket for those folks because they get entry into that tournament, for example. So it becomes our VIP, like our elevated membership program, and all we're trying to do is gather these funds together and create events and activities and prizes for players that are bigger and available to them. And I don't know if we answered this or not, JMac, but a lot of it is skill based and some of it will be random, so that it will be both in the end. Right now, Gold Rush, I would say, is entirely skill based. I don't know if anybody will ask this or not, but I do want to mention we've thought through this a lot. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm a savvy center. I see this Gold Rush thing. I'm going to let my cool customers come in on Monday morning. I'm going to open early at 8 a.m. and I'm going to stay open 24 hours and they're going to win all the best prizes. So what we came up with is that you will only earn gold in your first 8 hours of play on Monday through Thursday, and then we'll open it up for unlimited play on the weekend to be fair to all customers in the time zones. So I don't want the East Coast centers getting a jump on the poor Devin's poor center in Hawaii that's 6 hours behind on Monday because he doesn't open for 10 hours later. So on Mondays through Thursdays, you'll only be able to gather gold for we're looking at 8-hour minimum or maximum those days, just to be fair and kind of keep it where I just know how centers work. And not that that's cheating, like hopefully you're charging your players extra to come in all those extra hours and you're making money. Like, our objective is not to let you have players play free in your store. Our objective is for all of us to make money in our stores. So hopefully these things are things the players can't wait to do, and they're paying you more money to be in your store to earn them. The other thing I want to touch on, you can't do any of this at home. Like, by being a Prime member, you can't go home and earn more gold or do anything at home. Like, you have to be in a center. You have to be playing inside of ggLeap software for any of these points of gold and anything to accumulate. Any other questions on that? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say ggChampions Prime is going to be launching first week of June, right? Mm-hmm. And what we'll do is we'll be working on hopefully a pretty comprehensive FAQ for the website. We'll have a web page which will detail everything that the initial launch of Prime membership will give players. Obviously, that will be updated as we go on, but yeah, we'll be working on that FAQ just to answer questions off the bat.
Yeah. And most of the centers, again, I'll look at it the way I do is like, what's in it for my players? And again, as a company, we're committing a minimum of 5,000 a month into this program from the beginning. And then as the membership increases, it's kind of like the Dota prize vault thing that was announced today. You can buy all these items in I forget what they call it, the international, it's like it's got a name, that everything you buy, percentages of that builds the prize pool for their big esports event. That's the same idea with this, is that the more players that join will not only increase the values in items that we've started already, but we'll start new initiatives and other opportunities for them to play. And a lot of it is like, as we add more games, we'll just kind of spread it out so that if you're a League of Legends player, there'll be objectives and things you can win in League of Legends so that you're not competing head to head in a lot of this with Fortnite players and things. But keep in mind, our scoring and our gold formula and everything is pretty even across all the games. So a Fortnite player doesn't really have an advantage over a League of Legends player in Gold Rush, because statistically, we just watch tens of thousands of players' matches and we even those formulas out all the time. J-Mac, you look like you have another question.
No, I'm just answering questions in chat.
That's illegal.
I'd actually like you to go ahead and talk about the rest of it. I have one question, but I'm going to save it to the end.
Okay. I think we've covered everything in Prime, and I'm just going to start hitting some of the write-in questions at the bottom of this, unless you guys have got any other points on Prime for our group before we start addressing some of those questions. Good? Okay. Prime membership seems if it leaves out players who aren't very good. Why would someone sign up unless they're an ace? That's a great question. So, because again, it's only the first 8 hours that you play. If you're not a very good player, you're going to earn an average amount of coins. So the Gold Rush program may be defined more, not necessarily by the good players, but by the players that actually show up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in your store. So I don't know about everybody else, but I don't have a lot of good players don't come to my store because they're so good that they just stay at home and play. So unless we have a $10,000 tournament, if I have a $50 tournament, no good players show up because that's not enough money to waste their time. I think that good players, I don't know. We'll see. We'll obviously monitor it in the Gold Rush program. On the weekend program, on the tournament program, absolutely good players will win. Some of the benefits from the Prime program are going to be things like the extra coins and things that reward your loyalty program and your local customers anyway. I don't think that we'll have to see. I know a couple of my players that are sitting outside my room now that are here Monday through Friday, like they're here every day. Those are the players I think that'll have the most success initially in the Gold Rush program because they're here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Hopefully, it'll encourage more players to show up on those days that don't normally come, that are better players that could beat those folks. Because I don't know about everybody else's regulars, but my regulars are just mediocre. I mean, they're armchair quarterbacks. They're silver or gold level League of Legends players. They're not platinum. They're not challenger. They're just regular old folks coming in and hanging out for the community. So I think we'll be okay. We'll have to see. And again, the beauty of this thing is that we can adjust it as we go. Each week can be a new gold rush. It can be a new gold threshold that you hit. It will have different prizes in it each week. And again, every player, if there's always something to win, like Georgina, what you talked about with this free Steam game codes, I think there'll be things that everybody will get, no matter if they're good or bad or just for being a member.
Yeah, Zach, and that's a really good point. Like the Gold Rush is just one part of the Prime membership program, and yeah, it's for people that play a lot, and obviously we want to incentivize them for the patronage of the centers. But there's a whole load of other just basic things that everybody will get as part of their $7.99 a month or whatever it is. So it's we made a cognizant effort to make sure that there's an everyman benefit to Prime membership. So hopefully people will be satisfied, even if they don't win the laptop every month. They will definitely get their money's worth for sure.
Yeah, the next question's perfect to go with this too. If we already have a membership program in our center, would it be possible to combine it with our current system? So I have a membership program at eBash now, VIP, and it's $20 a month. And it's not recurring. It's like the next time you show up, you have to hand us a $20 bill or pay for it with your credit card. We're switching that, and we're going to do an $8.99 a month VIP program and include ggChampions Prime in that program. So we will then give benefits to our players in our store along with this program. Like we give $5 off lock-ins or $5 off tournament fees for our VIP members now. So we will give those benefits in our store as a part of this recurring payment that we take from the player directly. So absolutely, if you have a membership program, lump this in, buy those wholesale tokens from us because you'll be able to buy them in bulk at like $4.50, $5 a piece, and then be able to sell those and be smart about it. You know, don't, you could still charge 20 bucks at one time up front, but if you can get them on a recurring, that's where a lot of value comes into this program, is getting them on a recurring program, because it's not just like, oh, they'll forget about it and pay me every month. It's like it reminds them as a marketing tool. Like every month, like when my Hulu bills my account, I go back to Hulu because I haven't watched it in a while. It reminds me to go back to Hulu and see what's on it. And then Janine and I start watching a couple shows on Hulu again. And then we're back on Netflix. And so to me, it reminds everybody, getting them on that recurring program. Absolutely put it in your local program if you've got one. Do they keep their gold week for week, or does it zero out? It doesn't zero out at the end of the week, but gold that starts that week is only available for those prizes moving forward. And as soon as those prizes are gone, all that gold doesn't matter. So the gold count starts every week on Monday. There's a chance that some of these prizes, as we launch this, won't be redeemed by Sunday. So let's say it gets to the end of Sunday night and there's still a laptop in there and there's like 5 or 6 folks that are just racing to try to get that. They may have to come back Monday and continue that race on Monday to that from what they started building the week before. So it will build up until those prizes are redeemed, and then it's all not good for anything. Ross is working on, I don't want to promise this, but Ross is working on some digital items that at the end of the week, if you didn't get one of those prizes, you could use the gold to buy like a digital trophy or some sort of thing to go on your player profile in it. So that way you at least get something from the gold. It just doesn't seem to disappear. But there's no intention of building gold, because that's not what that program's about. Like the coin systems for building up value over time, the gold system's a rush. Like if you don't get any prizes, you're out. But no sweat, next Monday, start it all fresh again with brand new prizes. And the way that Georgina and her group thinks, again, this is an opportunity for us to really ramp it up. If we're willing to put $1,000 into it every week, can we go out and get partners to ante up and double us up on that? Can we make a week of Gold Rush sponsored by Logitech and put $3,000 or $4,000 worth of Logitech gear in that week's Gold Rush program? We'll chip in our 1,000 from our pool, and then they chip in from their side. And now the players, a lot more players will win, when we get prizes and prize levels up to that level. All right, let's go to the next one. More gamification features. I don't know who wrote that one, but it's my favorite. Like, it's been the dream of ours forever to have the Hall of Fame. Like Ross talks about trophy cases and everything else. Like, we absolutely want to have that built in. I just got a Peloton bike about a month ago. And the reason why I got it is I'm super competitive and I need to see like 10 week in a row badges to show up on the screen and show myself in a leaderboard against everybody else. Like, that's how I live. Like, I cannot wait until we have that built in. Absolutely, it's on our radar. I don't want to say it's on our roadmap because it's not on our roadmap yet, but it is on our radar moving forward, is gamification. I'll give you an idea. I want there to be a Nomad badge. Okay, I want to earn a Nomad badge at a center by having a player that plays for at least 10 hours in every seat in the center. So they log into PC1 for at least 10, PC2 for at least 10, PC3. And at the end of that period, they unlock the Nomad badge and it rewards them like 1,000 coin bonus or something. That's the way I think. So I 100% agree with that. We'd love to do that. I want to touch real quick on the end of that one, J-Mac. I saw you crossed it off, but the Fortnite or the Facebook integration for post achievements, this one we struggled with. We talked about it our offsite in New York, but and give us feedback centers on this, but we would like to be able to get administrative permission to post on social media on behalf of the software for activities and achievements and things that happen in the center on behalf of the players. And we've thought about that for a long time. if centers are willing to do that, like if they're willing to say, hey, we'll let you tie into my Twitter account, my Instagram account, my Facebook account for the store, not your personal one, so that we can say, congratulations, Dragon Slayer 02 on your 1000th hour, 1000th match, 1000th whatever achievement today. Hats off to you. You've got a free drink on us next time you come to the center. Letting you guys create the text or whatever you want to give away. But once you do that, then anytime a player hits that, it auto posts for you on social media. Love that idea. So, and that one's probably farther closer to happening than it would be building the whole prize or trophy case. Next one. Will OCE have another Fortnite event? Gosh dang it. I mean, this kind of goes along with like our desire to get these programs rolled outside of North America very quickly. We talked to a partner today on a call that's based out of Los Angeles. And in the end, they said to me, we were so happy to find you because all of our events and things are in North America and you guys are based in North America. I hate the fact that we don't have a very good presence in these other regions and other countries so that we can help promote that. But as soon as we get enough steam and momentum in North America where we're located, we have every full intention. And I'll give you an example. Georgina will back me up on this. We're looking at, in the near future, hiring another events person alongside of Jake. And we've talked about it being someone based in Europe because that's our second biggest market right now is in Europe. We want to do that. So do we want to have another OCE event, which is the Australia Oceanic region over there for Fortnite? Absolutely. Right now, we just don't have enough support internally, and there's just not enough centers in that region. It's coming all over the world. They're building at a rapid pace. That one's just behind North America and Europe and Asia and some other regions. So I can't promise that there'll be another OCE Fortnite event. I will say that we're very, very close to getting approved to using our private servers for our weeknight events that Georgina and Jake are working on. So if that happens, and that's just a casual event that we could use the private servers for a fun event on a Tuesday night, then absolutely we can look at doing some of that stuff in OCE, as long as Jake's willing to. Actually, I think Jake would just have to wake up early, right, J-Mac? I think like OCE starts like 6 a.m. our time. So I think that one's probably easier than the European one, actually.
Yeah, he said he's fine with that.
Oh yeah, did he say that, or are you just?
I volunteered that.
Yeah. I thought he was in the chat, like, okay, I'm okay with that. Jake's like, no, my sleep. Discord auto login for tournaments. Again, I'm not making this up. People are probably like, you're lying. In another call today, our client needs auto logins for Discord for a pop-up event they're doing at a big convention. So they want 4 players to sit down and us to be able to group them before they sit down and log in. And as soon as they log in, it launched Discord and logged them into Discord in a channel where they can all talk. The date for that is July 4th. That event is happening July 4th. So they asked for it. They're a large client. I'm not going to say it's going to be done by then, but there's a good chance it will be done by July 4th weekend. So that's a pretty good one that I can answer with certainty that it'll probably happen. What's going on with Splitgate? That's a great question. We love Splitgate. It's a great game. They have intentions of trying to do some support in the esports world. They're obviously great supporters of LAN centers and our initiatives. I know that it goes free to play and officially launches, I think, May
22nd.
May 22nd. We've not dove down into stats and things with them. I wish there was something that we could do as a group for smaller development houses that are building cool games like this to engage players on their behalf. But it's that weird chicken before the egg thing. Like, unless there's enough players, then we can't do events. And then unless there's events, we can't get players. So, like, unless you're some rare case like Apex, where you launch out of the blue and pay so much money to streamers to play your game, and you have 50 million players in a month, it's really hard to get events going for folks until the community's built. So hopefully the game will continue to build up steam, and by the time they launch and they go free to play, like, they'll have a lot of people, playing the game, and we can do some cool things with it. But for now, we don't really have any plans. Is that an event question? Do you want me to address that question or not? No? Well, the next one, which is the last one on the list, and then we can kind of wrap up because we want to try to keep it under an hour if we can, which we're doing pretty good. I'm just going to leave it. It can be a town hall number 3 question. It's more of a logistics. Doesn't really have. I'll put it in this form in the form of events. You know, does somebody need to check in for an event? Like, can it make it so somebody has to check in for an event? Georgina's deep into legal with a lot of these things. Absolutely, we got to make sure our terms of service and things like people are approved, people are of the right age. We've checked an age, we've verified if they're under a certain age, they've signed a form. Like, for a lot of these things, we're going to have something in place. Like when they become a Prime member in our system, or when they buy your token and they go log in for the first time, they're going to have to agree to a set of terms at that point before they can move into all those events. Like there's no way of getting around that. There's way too many laws in different states, even in the US, to have to cover. So absolutely, like there'll be checks and balances in this system that will force someone to engage a lot of times with you at the front desk. The high school one specifically. Like high school, the kid will be able to sit down at his desk or at his game station, pick that he goes to a certain high school, and show up in the leaderboard, but he cannot participate in the event until he's validated that at the front counter with one of your staff, either with a school ID, a state issued ID, or a parent or a guardian coming in and verifying that they are of age and do attend that high school. Like then you at the counter will check a validated box, and that player's good to go for the whole season. So there are some things that we do force somebody to do a face-to-face check-in at the front desk. I mean, we have to do that in Europe for GDPR. Like these poor kids in Europe, like they can't start playing until a parent comes to the front desk and clicks a box that says, I allow my kid to play at this center. So there's a lot of crazy stuff that we have to build and because of a lot of these different laws and things. So, all right. Great job, Georgina, on your first town hall.
Thank you
That's a
so
lot
much.
of stuff. That's a lot of stuff to cover. And again, this will go on YouTube so people can rewatch it and go back through and watch these things. And we're not afraid to post these things. I don't have we ever found something that we said wrong and gone back and deleted a YouTube video, JMac? I don't know that we've ever done that. I don't think, right? Right. I feel like that we definitely shoot for dates and we miss dates a lot, but again, we'll blame Ross and throw him under the bus and the development team on most of that. But I don't know that we've ever said anything that we've later changed our mind and gone back and said, no, we're not going to do that. I think, we're pretty much to our word, and whatever we say here, like I told Georgina, now it's written in stone. So whatever we've said here, we must now do because we've said it on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're going to put it. All right. Appreciate everybody's participation. Thanks for all the questions. We'll have another town hall coming up. I'm trying to get Ross to schedule it 3 weeks from now so that we've got the release of a lot of the things from his original town hall because he promised us an 8-week time frame, and we'll put him right on that 8-week threshold. We hold that town hall here in 3 weeks. So that's on me. I'm going to try to get him scheduled for that. In the meantime, watch for some upcoming stuff from Georgina and group as early as I saw a date on one of the forums, May 23rd, for some stuff sneaking out. So no pressure, Georgina, but we're excited.
Right.
Go Britain.
All right,
Go UK.
all right, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Weekend.